All right,
Welcome back, first off.
good to
Secondly,
be back.
hold on. Technical difficulties.
That's not my job.
Don't loss on the doorstep of history tonight, being able to get 54 consecutive double doubles. Just to watch that in person this year, how incredible has that been? Is that something the team might celebrate if he does accomplish that tonight?
It's been phenomenal. You know, I think everybody should celebrate it. He's that good. And I said this yesterday when somebody asked me about it, or the day before. Um, you know, usually the greats make stuff look easy, and it's a little tricky because then you know you're like, I can do that. You know, like even being around Steph, you know, people are getting, and it's great because you need to be inspired by people and by the greats, and but people are like, man, Steph looked like he's 5'5", you know, on TV, and he doesn't look strong. He doesn't look like he got great hops. I could shoot like that if I practice. You know, I mean, it's hard to do, and to be around it every day. Um, Especially after the, I mean, I feel like I have a lot of experience being in this game, and I've seen some of the things at the highest level with some of the greatest of all time greats. You know, Tim Duncan, I was fortunate, blessed, lucky, however you want to call it, to be around him for 3 straight years. And you're talking about a record even a guy of that magnitude doesn't have, that Domus is about to get. So it's hard to put in words, mainly because he makes it look so easy, but his work ethic, his determination, it's second to none. He fights his ass off for every single rebound. He's getting hit in the head, pushed, and all that other stuff. And he just, it's like the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. You know, he just keeps coming and coming and coming. So, yeah, I mean, we should all celebrate a record like this because things like this don't get broken often.
Coach, Keon Ellis, sorry about that. Keon Ellis, it seemed like the other night, he was looking more for his shot as opposed to a few games. He just take the game as it comes, and if he's open, he'll take the shot. What does that says about his progression? Now that he got a feel for now he's feel confident in taking the shots.
You know, it's just one thing. It says he's starting to believe, and it helps his teammates believe too. You know, the one thing that I would continue to caution everybody, when you have a young guy that steps into a new role and that does a great job, um, the expectations are there, and you got to remember he was on a two-way contract less than 2 months ago, and so he's still got a lot of room to grow. He is growing at leaps and bounds and heading this direction, but just like us as a team, I mean, we made the playoffs last year, and that's it. And basically, everybody on our roster is in a new role, and now there's expectations, and sometimes it takes time to be consistent. And so I would just caution everybody that Keon he's playing phenomenal, especially for him being a two-way guy in his second year, going undrafted. But he's gonna probably have some setbacks. Hopefully, not anytime soon, or or not tonight or anything like that. But he for sure is a young man that is confident, that's level-headed, that has shown remarkable ability, especially defensively, even offensively. I think last year in the G League he shot in the 40s. So I think all that stuff is real. But again, um, Keon, even our team, just hey, there's going to be ups and downs with it, and we got to love him and lift him up when he's down, and love him and keep lifting him up when he's up, because as a young guy you can go through turbulent times, but it just adds to his belief and everybody else's belief when he lets it fly, and especially when he makes shots.
Mike, you guys have kind of lived and died with Malik all season long. How big was it for you guys to get through a game where he couldn't hit anything? I think he even tweeted he couldn't hit like the ocean with a rock if he tried. But how big is it for you guys to kind of recover from that and be able to get through a game and win a game with only 7 points off the bench?
That speaks volumes to what I've been preaching the whole year. Um, I don't think anybody would be able to say we can go in Orlando, they won 5 in a row, they're They're a really good team, well coached by Jamal Mosley, knowing that Malik's gonna go 0 for 11 and still probably play close to 30 minutes, and we come out with a win. Nobody could have said that. Nobody would have believed me or said that 3 months ago. That's why you defend in this league. Not only he didn't shoot great, but we had a couple other guys that didn't shoot great neither. But because we defended, we're getting better on that end. And again, I'm not sitting here saying we're gonna be a top 5 defensive team. I don't know how good we can be, but I'd be damned if I'm gonna sit back and say, hey, just score the ball and don't worry about defense, because it's gonna help you win games. And it helped us win that game. And hopefully it continues everybody's belief, especially the guys in that locker room, that it doesn't matter if the ball's going in or it's not. We have a chance to win because we're capable defenders, and we're going to try to win the possession game. We're going to take care of the free throw line compared to them. We're going to keep them off the offensive glass, and we're going to take care of our turnovers. If we do that, we have enough talent offensively to find a way to put points on the board to go get a W. So again, that adds to the belief that we are capable of being a high-level defensive team and getting wins.
Coach, speaking of the defense, 10th in defense rating since the break, 4th in March, deflections are up, on a 3-point percentage is down. Are you seeing some things out there that look sustainable from that end, that you guys can remain consistent?
Yeah, and you know, again, this is a little new to us, so we haven't arrived defensively, but the things that we've been preaching all year, our level of physicality, we're starting to be a little bit more consistent for closer to 48 minutes than before. You know, I've never broken down closeout technique with any team that I've been with like we have here. And, you know, maybe it's the new era of high octane offenses, or maybe we just needed it because we haven't done it in the past, but we've spent a lot of time breaking down the little nuances on closeout technique, especially when it comes to defending the 3-point line. And, you know, when you watch the games as they're being played, and then you go back and you rewatch them, there are more times now than before where I'm like, oh wow, that was a beautiful closeout. Oh wow. And throughout the course of the game, where we might only saw one, you know, now you're seeing it multiple times in multiple quarters from a lot of different guys. And then the last thing that has been really good is you're not gonna, you know, offenses are really, really good now, and you're not gonna be able to have a black and white blueprint for everything you do on the defense end of the floor, just like offensively. Keegan, not Keegan, I mean, we were up against the shot clock. Trust me, I did not call the play and tell Keon to go between the legs and wiggle a little bit, take a step back over Apollo and knock it down. I didn't do that. Just like I didn't say Malik missed 11 shots, you know. Stuff happens. You got to have guys that can make plays, and same thing defensively. But defensively, it's about effort, the multiple effort, and it's about communication. And our guys are starting to do stuff defensively that's not necessarily in the black and white blueprint of what we're teaching, but they know that, okay, hey, guy's open, I got to rotate. Now I got to talk. The next guy, and it's been very, very fun to watch our guys kind of improvise defensively, because of their effort, their communication, and their physicality that they're bringing to the table, trying to do it most possessions of the game.
Mike, super efficient night for Keon and Orlando shooting-wise. I know coming into the season, Monty McNair brought it up. I think you brought it up too, just expectations of growth from him as a scorer and on the offensive end of the floor. But what is the balance of him having to be an efficient shooter with limited shot attempts because of how many guys need to eat in the offense versus him stepping into those games where he's willing to take 15, maybe even 20 shots to have those big nights?
Again, as a young guy, that comes with growth. You know, he's in a predicament where he's playing with some pretty good older guys, and you know, Keegan's a good young man and a good person, and he's very respectful. Sometimes, and I've even told him this, sometimes you can be respectful, but do what the hell you need to do to get shots. And if I call a play, you go to the spot that the play's for, and you move whoever's there out of the way. You're that good, and you have to believe in it. And if you do it, now you gotta make shots, or you gotta make plays. And the more you make shots, the more you make plays, that's the more the older guys are gonna believe in you, and they're gonna be calling your number themselves and or moving out the way when the play set is called. So there is a balance there, but it's one of those old adages. Sometimes you got to look through people, or you got to let it go through one ear and out the other, and do what you feel is best in order to grow and have that opportunity. And Keegan's starting to feel his way there a little bit.
Coach, Trey Lyles is one of those players that seems to bring a level of physicality that you've kind of preached all season, really. With him out, it seems like Alex Len has kind of filled that void. How important has Alex been, and how important will he be down the stretch with Trey out?
Alex has been huge for us. The kids, again, we're not that big right now. We have two guys that can really play the power forward position, that are bigger, and obviously HB starts for us at that spot. We can slide Keegan there. We're getting a little smaller when you slide Kessler there, just because he's not as thick or strong as HB. So missing Trey, while missing Sasha too, has been big for us. Having said that, we just have to have guys step up, and one of them is Alex, not only at the backup center position, bringing a level of physicality with his size, but we also played him at Domus together. I can't remember, maybe Minnesota game, I can't even remember which game, but so with Trey being out, Alex has to be ready, obviously, to play the backup five, but also to play some four, because we may need that size out on the floor versus some of these bigger teams with Trey being out, because of what he brings to the table for us night in and night out.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all.